People are sharing the creepiest unsolved mysteries that they can't stop thinking about. So I decided to look into the details of each one. Brandon Swanson's case always boggled my mind. The fact that he alerted his parents that he was lost and needed help. They were on the phone with him, heading toward him, only to hear his last moments. To know they were so close is so terrifying. Recently, Reddit user uRandomweeb asked the people of r/ask Reddit to share the creepiest unsolved mystery that keeps them up at night. After reading through some of these, I will definitely not be sleeping soundly for the next couple of days. Here are the most bone-chilling cases. Warning: disturbing and graphic content ahead.
1. Christian Soto Sanchez. His belongings are found thrown about outside his locked car. Christian Soto Sanchez was always there for someone in need. What happened to this young man? Christian Alan Soto Sanchez grew up in the Mission District, commonly known as the Mission. It's a neighborhood within San Francisco, California, that's one of the oldest neighborhoods in the city, known for its vibrant Chicano/Mexican-American community. In early 2016, Christian, along with his mother and siblings, relocated to Concord, a major suburb within the San Francisco Bay Area. Christian was dependable and loved working with tech. As an electronic repair technician, Christian really enjoyed working with his hands and solving problems. His personal Facebook page is filled with posts about the latest Apple products, geeking out over photos of a neat electronic repair room that he described as heaven, and funny memes about technology. Notably, Christian attended Apple's 2012 Worldwide Developers Conference in San Francisco, California. Beyond technology, Christian's personal Facebook became a space for him to share artistic photos that he took. Friends and family say he was communicative, both in his work life and home life, which is why they were so startled by his sudden disappearance. September 23, 2016. Christian's Friday started like any other Friday. He showed up to his job at the Batteries Plus Bulbs Phone and Electronic Repair Shop on time. He parked his car, a black two-door 2014 Honda Civic Del Sol with the California license plate, number 7GMD893, in an enclosed parking garage shared by an apartment complex and the repair shop. His shift went off without a hitch. As it was ending, around 6 p.m., Christian asked his boss, Tom Schultz, if he could borrow the garage's remote to pick up his car after a concert he was headed to later that night. Tom said it wasn't a problem. As the night started, Christian met up with a friend, and the pair ordered an Uber to go to the Bill Graham Civic Auditorium. They were seeing Flume, a popular Australian producer and highly successful DJ. While at the concert, Christian and his friend got separated, but they reconnected when the show ended around 1 a.m. on Saturday, September 24th. The night continued, and the pair went back to his friend's house, where they met up with additional friends to continue the party. Christian only stayed for an hour. He left, saying he was going to walk back to his car at the garage. He was last seen carrying his backpack, wearing black pants and a button-up shirt with white flowers. In the morning, a coworker made a confusing discovery. When showing up for their shift at Batteries Plus Bulbs, a coworker noticed that Christian's car was still in the garage. Strangely, they discovered Christian's backpack outside, in front of the car. The backpack's contents, his ID card, credit cards, wallet, the car keys, and extra clothing, were strewn out on the ground. The car was locked, and Christian's cell phone and the garage's remote control were never recovered. Later that same Saturday, Christian missed his shift at work. "We thought that was odd," said Tom Schultz, speaking to a Mission local journalist. "Christian is always on time, never a no-show, always prompt and a great employee," Schultz said, adding that police have not contacted him or any of his employees since Soto's disappearance. "Even if this was some young person that doesn't typically show up or has other problem in his life, we would be concerned, but that's not him," he concluded. "We are desperate for someone to come out here." What's more, that day was his sister's birthday, and Christian missed the celebration. The following day, on Sunday the 25th, Christian's family reported him as missing. "I don't know where my brother is," Jonathan Soto, Christian's brother, shared with Mission Local. "It's something that really hurts me. We are trying to piece it together, but we can't." Was this suicide? After a few articles were published about Christian's disappearance, a few edits were made. The articles say that Christian's disappearance was likely a suicide by the Golden Gate Bridge, citing comments made by Yelena Martinez. To that end, law enforcement members have not made any comment about evidence relating to this. Christian's remains have also never been discovered, which is why this is still characterized as a missing persons case. The family is asking anyone who might have information to call the local law enforcement agency at 911 or 415-575-4444. 2. Daniel Robinson. A young geologist goes missing in Buckeye, Arizona. Daniel Cornelius Robinson was born in South Carolina. In 2019, he had graduated from the College of Charleston with a degree in archaeology. His family describes him as an incredibly bright mind who loved his family. Daniel had an innate sense of adventure, but would always inform his family of his travel plans. Daniel is described as 24 black male, standing at 5'8", and weighing approximately 165 pounds. Daniel was born without his hand and part of his forearm on his right side. He did not let this stop him from playing video games or even learning the trumpet. The day Daniel went missing, Daniel was just beginning his career as a hydrogeologist and was excited for the future. He had recently moved after he was hired by Matrix New World as a field geologist right after graduation. His sister, Davisha, also lived in Phoenix. Daniel was picked up a side job as an Instacart driver. On June 12, 2021, David met a woman named Caitlin while delivering for her. The two exchanged numbers and began texting. While Caitlin was out of town, Daniel stopped by her home to pick up a canopy. Following this incident, Caitlin tried to end communication. On the morning of June 22, 2021, Daniel's father, David Robinson II, last spoke to his son. The following day, Daniel stopped at a local gas station before he went to work. He was meeting his coworker, Kenneth, at a job site. When police pulled Daniel's phone records, they were able to determine that the last text message Daniel sent was to Kenneth around 8:10 a.m. Those who saw Daniel that morning recall that he seemed different than his usual self, but made no comments about harming himself or others. Daniel is last seen around 9 a.m. By 3 p.m., Kenneth noticed that he couldn't reach Daniel and began to search the surrounding desert area in his vehicle. Kenneth could tell that Daniel's tire marks were heading westbound. However, Daniel was still missing. His last known location was in the vicinity of Sun Valley PKY and W. Cactus Ard in Buckeye, Arizona. At some point during the day, Daniel's father, David, was made aware of the situation. However, when David called the Buckeye Police Department to originally report his son missing, he was told he has to wait a minimum of 12 hours before he files a report. However, in any jurisdiction, the concept of a 12 or 24-hour waiting period to reporting a missing person is a fallacy. Daniel was officially reported missing at approximately 7 p.m. on June 23, 2021. At this time, David was living in South Carolina and drove to Arizona to help find his son. He arrived in Arizona by June 26th and wasted no time to aid in the investigation any way he could. Several foot and aerial searches were conducted in the desert, but it uncovered no new information relating to Daniel's case. Missing persons posters were also handed out amongst the local community. During some of the searches, authorities were able to find remains on several occasions, but it did not match Daniel. On July 19, 2021, a local rancher discovered Daniel's light blue 2017 Jeep Renegade. Daniel was not in the area. It was noted that between the date that Daniel went missing and the date the car was found, there were at least 3 known rainstorms that could influence that crime scene. 1, the car was found on its side in a ravine. It was found a few miles away from Daniel's last known location. A pair of jeans inside out, 2 brown work-type boots, a faded orange vest with the company logo, a t-shirt, and 2 socks that were inside out were found at the scene. There was some red paint found on the car. However, authorities did not do any forensic testing at the scene because there was no sign of blood, despite the wreckage. Not long after the car was found, the Robinson family brought private investigator Jeff McGrath to aid in the investigation. McGrath is a private investigator and specializes in accident reconstruction. McGrath had felt that the car's damage did not accurately represent the terrain in which it was found. Upon downloading the car's airbag control module, it was determined that the car was started at least 40+ times after the airbags deployed. There was an additional 11 miles on the car since the airbags deployed, implying that the car was driven around after it had crashed. The system also shows that the car was likely crashed around 1 p.m., nearly 4 hours after Daniel was last seen. Upon learning of this information, forensic testing was finally conducted. Law enforcement took wet and dry swabs of various areas of the car. However, the results of those tests have not been made public. Where the case stands today, the Robinson family is still actively searching for Daniel. While several sets of remains have been found while searching for him, none of them match Daniel. David Robinson Sekou has participated in numerous news media and podcast interviews in hopes of raising awareness for Daniel's case, including an appearance at the 2022 CrimeCon event in Las Vegas. He conducts frequent searches of the desert area. Throughout the investigation, the family had to really advocate for Daniel because the Buckeye Police Department lacked a sense of urgency. The family has created the Please Help Find Daniel advocacy website and other social media of the same name to continue sharing Daniel's story.